I want all the gory details.
His name's Blaine. He's so beautiful.
Blaine? Oh, that's a major appliance. That's not a name.
He's a Richie.
What he?
It's just his family has a lot of money.
Does he have strong lips?
How can you tell?
Do you feel it in your knees?
I felt it everywhere.
Strong lips.
I love this woman, and I have to tell her.
All you gotta do is try. Try this. Yeah, watch it through. You got to know what to do, baby.
We're closed.
You know what an older woman does for me?
Changes your diapers?
Tush.
Hey, this is Steph's party, Blaine.
And you shouldn't be allowed to invite just anybody.
Why are you getting involved?
The girl was, is, will always be nada.
Say it.
You're ashamed to be seen with me. You're ashamed to go out with me.
You like him, he likes you. What his friends think shouldn't make any difference.
I just want to let them know that they didn't break me.
You told me you couldn't believe in somebody who didn't believe in you. I've always believed in you. I just didn't believe in me.
Hello, hello. I'm Katie, and welcome back to Retromade. Today we're going to head back to 1986 and revisit Pretty in Pink. This is John Hughes' class-conscious teen romance that gave us unforgettable fashion, so many blazers, an iconic soundtrack, and one of the most debated love triangles of the decade. So much so that he made another movie the next year to make it right, depending on if you're Team Blaine or Team Ducky. Joining me today is Kyle Peterson. We were going to have his teenage daughter as a special guest to give us a perspective of how high school works nowadays, but she did watch the movie, and I think she has notes for us. Kyle, welcome back to Retromade for our John Hughes season. I think this is the second movie you've joined me on.
That's right. Yes, I was here for Beethoven last year sometime.
It seems like forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like a while ago. But look, I guess I must have done okay now that I've been invited back. So. And
you're one of my regular podcast buddies over on One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm in more in my element here. This is a little bit, this is foreign to me, but it's good to have some practice to talk on something that isn't Rocky related.
It's very different from Rocky. Definitely. Yes. But in the 80s. So if you are new to the show, welcome. We're covering John Hughes movies this season in order to set the stage for that movie discussion. What we do here is some pop culture trivia from the year that movie was released. So let's spin the Retromade wheel for the time capsule from 1986.
Ooh, I love me some trivia. Let's do this.
Now, we did already cover 1986 in the Ferris Bueller's Day Off episode. So if we come to a category we've already covered, we'll just spin again. Okay?
Okay. I'm a little worried because I was only 2 in this.
Right.
In 1986. So I wasn't up with the pop culture. But, hopefully I can get a few right.
I mean, I'm 5 here, but I think also I'm the youngest child, so that helps me know things earlier than my time. But we shall see. Yeah. We shall see. I'm going to spin on your behalf, Kyle. See what category we come to. Okay. Oh, we have Pages of the Past, and I don't think we covered that already. It's books and magazines. Okay, you might know this one. A huge hit in the 1980s. This popular book series featured a young girl named Nancy who solved mysteries with her best friends.
Yes, my sister read a lot of these. Nancy Drew.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
It's funny. I am very aware of these. I never read those.
Yeah, there was Nancy Drew, and then there was like a male equivalent to something boys. I can't remember.
The Hardy Boys?
The Hardy Boys, that's right.
I think that was, I've heard of that. I wonder if that was older.
I feel like they were, as a kid, they were like hand in hand. I think my sister may have read both, but I think she was more of a reader than I was.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she really liked Nancy Drew, though. I totally remember that.
Very good. See, you knew one. Ooh, in a similar vein, I loved this book series. This book series, written by Beverly Cleary, continued to capture the hearts of readers with the adventures of a certain girl and her sibling Beezus in the 1980s. What was the name of this girl in the book series?
God, that sounds so familiar, but I don't know. I know as soon as you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah.
Are you familiar with the Beverly Cleary books, though? Do you know what I'm referring to? No, but the Beezus thing, I was like, that really rings a bell. I'm curious if your sister read these too, because it was kind of the same, not a mystery series, but in the same time frame. The answer is Ramona.
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah, so it's Ramona Quimby and her sibling Beezus in the 1980s. All right, let's spin you a new category. Let's see here. Fad flashback.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, this is fair game. In 1986, this electronic toy sensation captured the attention of children everywhere. It involved placing colored pegs into a board to create patterns and was marketed as a way to stimulate creativity. What is it?
Would it be the Light Bright, I guess?
It is the Light Bright.
Yeah, we had a Light Bright. Again, my sister had a Light Bright, but yes. I also liked it too.
Super fun. And you know what? I actually bought one like several years ago for nostalgic purposes. I don't know. I think my niece used it once, but it's like much smaller, a more compact thing.
Yeah.
Now.
We're now in the phase of millennial nostalgia. Like millennials are now in the nostalgia age, like in your 30s and 40s. You start, you actually have some memories in the bank. You easily remember things from 20, 30 years ago now. So then you start getting nostalgic about stuff.
Great.
Well, it's hard to get nostalgic in your 20s because it's like everything was so recent.
Good. That's a really good point. You got to be old before you can get nostalgic. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. This specific hairdo reached massive popularity in 1986, where the style was voluminous with a teased top and wild appearance, often associated with rock stars. What was this iconic hairstyle called? It was typically for men. Party in the front.
Oh, on the mullet. The mullet. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Man, that was like, that made its way into the early 90s, I feel like we were still dealing with the mullet at that time. Yeah. Oh God, that is one thing I hope never comes back. I think it has kind of come back a little bit.
It has. I've seen it's everything is like in a 30, 35 year cycle, it seems.
Was there a mullet back in like because if you go 30 years back from the 80s, was the mullets ever popular prior to the 80s? I don't know. Or is that like the birth of the mullet and then now it's going to be this thing that haunts us every few decades?
I think that was the birth of the mullet because prior to that, long hair on men was like hippie type hair. It wasn't like everyone had short cuts.
I think you say yes and no. Like in the 50s and stuff, like 20th century, yeah. 19th century men, like you could have longer hair as a man. Like you see pictures of men. I think it's because necessity. I think it was harder to get a haircut back then.
Good. That's a good point. Like it was scragglier.
Yeah, like you see pictures of, like Civil War generals or people like that. They had much longer hair. Not like your hair, but like, like maybe like down here or something. But yeah, like definitely like the 50s was super clean cut, or even the 60s prior to the hippie era.
Right.
And even then, it's like, I feel like, just a little bit of a side, but I feel like the 60s will be characterized by hippie stuff, but there were still a lot of clean-cut people back then, so.
Yeah, it was, I think it like kind of overtook like the hippie movement seems like such a big part of culture, but I would imagine if you just asked the average person, in Wisconsin, where
sure.
you know what I mean? They probably weren't partaking in that.
Yeah, like a lot of people criticize the boomers for being so conservative, and they say, hey, look, like you're the hippie generation and now you're conservative like this. But I think in actuality, a lot of them have been conservative the whole time.
Right.
But I'd say though the 70s, I would say people did give way to longer hair. Like hair covering your ears was like mandatory if you were a younger person.
A la Sylvester Stallone in the 70s.
Yeah.
To bring it back. All right, let's do another category and then we'll get into the movie. You're doing very well considering that you were so young. Prime Time Rewind. This is TV shows.
All right. I think I could do okay on TV.
This is pretty easy. I mean, I think you'll definitely get some of them. Okay. Number one show. Any guesses before I give you clues? 1986.
Oh, shit. 1986, the number one show. I don't know what would be number one in 86.
I'll give you clues. I just wanted to see.
It's hard. I can't, because I see a lot of these shows through reruns in the 90s, but I wouldn't have known if they were number one or not.
Mm-hmm. I only do because I do the show.
Yeah.
So the number one is an affluent man with a fondness for patterned knitwear dispensed life lessons with humor while his household remained remarkably educated. What was this show?
I feel like I should know this.
I'm purposely being a little cryptic because otherwise they're so easy.
Could you say it again?
An affluent man with a fondness for patterned knitwear, the sweaters. He had a certain sweater swag. Dispensed life lessons with humor while his household remained remarkably educated.
God, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to kick myself over this.
The Cosby Show.
God! Fuck.
Bill Cosby sweaters.
I was thinking the Cosby Show, and for some reason I wasn't confident in that. Damn it. I should have gotten up my gut.
You should have. But yeah.
What does remarkably educated mean? Because they're black, Katie? Is that what that means? Because they're black.
The show really revolved a lot around Hillman, and then there was the spinoff that Denise went to. What was it called? A different world. But the whole family went to these prestigious, historically black schools. I mean, Hillman I think that was fictitious, but it was meant to be anyway, they're all doctors and lawyers. Very educated family.
Yeah, they were like upper crust for sure.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of hippies, a former flower child and her husband never expected their offspring to idolize briefcases, business deals, and Reaganomics. What sitcom documented their struggles?
Oh my God.
It's very early 80s. It lasted a long time, but I think it started pretty early in the 80s. Michael J. Fox?
Oh, Family Ties.
Yes, Alex P. Keaton. Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched Family Ties, to be honest. I just know he was on that show.
You've not seen any episodes of it?
I think not really. No, I think I probably have, channel surfing come across it, but I never got into that show.
I think I am aware of it and have seen a lot of it, but never, it wasn't one of my rewatchables for some reason. Again, I think maybe because it started so early and I was kind of more into the late 80s when I got more TV viewership preferences.
It's funny, I was talking to someone at work the other day about older shows, and I feel like there were shows as a kid I wanted to like but couldn't. I remember seeing the beginning of MASH, and they showed these helicopters and stuff. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And then I was like, what the hell is this show? Why is this guy in a dress? What is happening? I think I love that show now.
Right. But similar, that always came because it was adult oriented. I feel like a lot of dads our friends' dads would watch that show, and whenever it came on, the theme song makes me homesick for some reason. A few songs make me
that intro was awesome to me.
Yeah.
It made me want to watch that show. And then I was once the actual show came on, it was a different story.
I've never seen an episode, so I think I should dive into it one of these days and binge MASH.
MASH is a good example of modern times kind of obscuring the historical aspect. Because MASH is supposed to be 1950s Korean War, but the hairstyles and stuff were all 70s. You have these army people from the 50s with hair covering their ears and longer hair.
Was it set in the 50s?
Yeah, it's Korean War, so it'd be 50 to 53. So
oh my God, I don't know why I didn't realize that.
I think, someone at work thought it was Vietnam War, because Vietnam War and the Huey helicopter are kind of synonymous. I don't think the helicopter in MASH is a Huey, but still, you don't think of helicopters much with Korea, but you think of helicopters with Vietnam they're, a staple. But yeah, it was supposed to be the 50s, and no one looked like it. They looked like it was the 70s.
Because it started in the 70s, right?
Yeah. Yes, okay. It did. So it's 70s and 80s. So I get why you don't want to make it look like the 50s, but it is kind of odd to watch it.
I didn't even know that. Thanks for the information, Kyle.
I got it where I keep somehow.
This one, I got to keep you around. This one, I'll just give you a hint at the front. It is a primetime soap, right? One of those that was very present in especially the early 80s. So greed, deception, and sibling rivalries ran as deep as the oil wells that fueled this Southern empire. Name the nighttime soap that thrived on backstabbing and betrayals. I've never seen it, but it's big.
I'm not a soap guy. I could name like Days of Our Lives or
that's
General
a
Hospital,
soap.
General Hospital, but I don't know like nighttime soaps.
I think you'll know it. Dallas.
Oh,
have you heard of this at least?
I have heard of Dallas, but I've never watched Dallas before.
Me neither.
You know, actually, Dallas came to mind when you were saying number one show, because I remember seeing like this. Sometimes I've watched these videos, and it'll be like this bar chart that's like changes over time, and things are constantly moving. And it'll be like number one shows at the time. It'll be like from the 70s till now, and you'll see shows kind of come and go.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing Dallas was kind of up there. I don't know if it was number one, but it was like it was in the running.
Yes,
let's say the top 5 or 10 or whatever, But I was like, I don't know what Dallas is. If you asked me what Dallas is, I'd be like, It's one of those 70s shows or 80s shows.
It was a huge thing probably for our parents' age. Like it was in newspapers. You know, back in the day when they could do cliffhangers and you'd have to literally wait a week to see the next episode. And it was like, who shot JR? That was a big thing in the...
Yes, I know of that phrase. Like I've heard people talk about that. I was talking to my wife yesterday, actually, about how... Actually, I was talking to a coworker about this. I was talking to my wife how I was talking to a coworker where it was like... It was the same MASH conversation, but we were talking about how streaming has kind of ruined this, where it's like with TV, it was like you kind of just had to watch the shows when they were on, and then you had to wait till next week, so you kind of had something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about how like Thursday was a good TV night.
Totally.
Thursday night was like solid. Thursday was almost as good as a Friday. Like it was like really solid. The week was almost done. You had solid shows on. You had something to look forward to. You could be like a cliffhanger to look forward to. And you get this like weird instant gratification of streaming where you can just binge watch the shit out of something and then it's over. And it's not as good that way.
Yeah, it's like anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. But it's weird because some shows are starting to do that on streaming. They're starting to make you wait until like next week before you can see the next episode. Like they've already recorded it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But so they're kind of coming back around to that in order to make you keep your subscription.
Yes,
longer.
They seem to come out in chunks. Stranger Things did that recently, where it was like, I think 3 chunks. It was like early December, Christmas Eve, and then the last episode was New Year's Eve.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Love is Blind kind of comes out in 4 or 5 episodes. That's like my guilty pleasure trashy reality show with my wife.
That's so funny. A lot of my friends watch that, and the premise sounds wild, but
last series was in Denver too, so I thought of you guys. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I should watch it at some point. I feel like I used to watch trash TV when it was like Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake and Maury Povich, like after school. That I was all in on that. But now I don't know. There's something that I'm like, I don't partake in any of the Housewives or any of those, like Love Island. Those.
I don't have much patience for Housewives because I find them so unrelatable. Like their concerns and their fights and stuff it sickens me. But with Love is Blind, it's like weird because you're trying to make these commitments to potentially get married to someone you really hardly know. But then you have these people, they start living together and there's like this conflict and friction and they fight. And it is a little relatable, the fights they have. And so if you watch Love is Blind with a partner, you can kind of like do color commentary on the fights. Oh man, he shouldn't have said that. Or, oh, I see where they're coming from, or I don't see where they're coming from. That's what I find interesting about that show.
I can totally see that. I might have to give it a shot and I'll let you know. But back to 86, this one, I don't know if you'll know it or not. A quiet town, a sharp mind, and an ever-growing list of suspicious deaths. Who knew being a novelist could be so dangerous?
Oh God, no idea. I'm really shitting the bed on the TV stuff.
No, you're not. My mom loved this show. I feel like a lot of moms liked it. Angela Lansbury, is that giving you any help?
Oh, I know that name, but I didn't know anything about it.
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh God, Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
The theme song with her typewriter and
Yeah. I feel like that was like even my grandma would have really liked that show.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was like Matlock too, I guess.
Yeah, that does seem like a grandma show.
Like on The Simpsons, Grandpa Simpson and like all the people in the home really loved Matlock.
I never have seen any episodes of The Simpsons.
What? Were you allowed to watch it, or you?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know why. I just didn't.
Because I feel when I was growing up, it was like it seems like it was like almost half and half, like kids who were and were not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Okay.
So it's like I didn't know. Maybe you were one of those families. It's like, Mom
I doubt that was
on
the case.
Simpsons, but...
I was watching Maury Povich. I don't know. Like I don't know. It just didn't draw me, I guess.
Maury's awesome though. Like like you are the father. You're not the father.
I mean, it's like not quite Jerry Springer, but it's right.
It's
up
a little
there.
Freak Show-esque.
Mm-hmm.
There was some stuff on there that was kind of exploitative. Like they had these like kids that were horrifically burned that were on there.
What?
Like, little kids? Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't like. Why is this happening? Or they'd be like, they'd have all these like hot chicks on. It's like, which ones are actually dudes? And so,
yeah, the wildest things on those shows. I loved it. Oh, that's the 90s though, I feel like. But the last one for 86, Kyle, I don't know, this show might still be on, to be honest. I don't know.
Oh, God.
This long-running Sunday ritual promised in-depth investigations, hard-hitting interviews, and a soundtrack that ticked down to the truth.
I think it's still on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
I loved 60 Minutes. Like there was like, I remember watching at my grandparents' place, and yeah, like 60 Minutes was great. And then you had Andy Rooney's thing at the end, where he'd have all his like weird thoughts on stuff. Like, why do they have stickers on apples?
That's so good and random. I love it. Thank you for playing the Time Capsule with Retromade.
My pleasure.
All right, Kyle, shall we get into Pretty in Pink?
Let's do this.
February 28th, 1986, PG-13. I assume this is the first time you've seen it.
Yes.
And your wife, is this her first time seeing it too?
No, she had seen it a while ago though. So she kind of like didn't fully remember it, but she did have some familiarity.
I thought I had seen this, and it was always one of the ones I wasn't as drawn to of the Hughes universe, I guess. I really liked some of the other ones better. And so none of it seemed super familiar. And I always conflated it with 16 Candles because Molly Ringwald's in that too.
Yeah.
But another question, because we'll get into some comparisons with this movie, as I alluded to earlier in the opening, that there was another movie the next year that is basically the same movie. Have you seen Some Kind of Wonderful?
Oh, I haven't.
Okay, no worries. I'll keep those comparisons brief.
In my mind, where I know Molly Ringwald from the most is The Breakfast Club.
Same.
Which is, the year before this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because she's like the popular girl in The Breakfast Club. And it's definitely not in this film.
Same note, Kyle. It's like literally the opposite. Same note. Well, so where I was going with the Some Kind of Wonderful, and it'll be very clear that I think Some Kind of Wonderful, spoiler, it's, I think, a far superior film. And I think that IMDb, the rating shows that. Most people believe that too. So Pretty in Pink has a 6.7 and Some Kind of Wonderful has a 7.0. And we just covered Some Kind of Wonderful in the last episode. So check that episode out. And so then we can do a compare and contrast. This movie, so while John Hughes wrote it, Howard Deutsch directed it. And this was actually his directorial debut. And he also did Some Kind of Wonderful, which is essentially the redo of this movie, because we'll get into the ending is different.
Oh shit! I kind of want to watch that movie now. I wish I would.
You should watch it. I'm curious what you think, because it's like gender reversal of this movie.
Okay, just hold on a couple hours. I'll come back and then.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So Howard Deutsch did both movies. He also did The Great Outdoors, which is also a John Hughes movie, and also Grumpier Old Men. That's who.
Not Grumpy Old Men, but just Grumpier Old Men.
Yes, Grumpier.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I really liked Grumpy Old Men.
I feel like I liked it too.
Yeah, like, which is weird because I was like this young teenager, And I'm like, why do I like this story about like old guys? But
exactly.
I feel like I've been an old man inside my whole life, and I'm just kind of growing into it now. Like I love that I'm in my 40s. I'm like, this kicks ass. Like I feel like more myself.
I feel like that too. I've always been a grumpy old lady. So John Hughes wrote this, and he was unhappy with the ending of it, and he wanted Andy and Ducky like to be together in the end. But they did a screening of this, and test audiences didn't like that.
Really?
That she ended up with Ducky, like the best friend. So they reshot the ending so that Blaine, she got Blaine in the end.
Fascinating. Yeah. I was shocked because like fairly early on, I'm like, I just out loud said, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That she's got to get dropped by Blaine, and she's going to realize he was a jerk, and then Ducky's got to go to prom with her, and there's going to be a spark, and they'll end up together. It seems like I can't list examples, but I feel like it's a fairly common trope.
Of course. Yep.
That's going to happen. And then when that didn't happen, I was like aghast. I was like, really? She feels like very quick to forgive Blaine too. Like she kind of yelled at him, and he was just like he didn't really have much of a response. His little apology thing at the end wasn't much. It felt very rushed. Like Brittany, like my wife and I, and even my daughter thought the same thing. Like my daughter's comment was like, it seems like the ending prom scene, she was like, that went way too fast. Like it felt like we're almost running out of time. And it's like, okay, we got to get through this, and that, and then you're like,
well,
what
that's
the hell
why
just
you're
happened?
right.
Yeah,
it did feel like you can see where it happened too. And so when they called back, Andrew McCarthy had already cut his hair for some play he was doing, I think. So he had the buzz cut. So you can tell in the latter, like the ending of the movie, he has a wig on. It's very obvious. Yeah.
I'm actually notoriously bad for not being able to spot wigs and toupees and stuff like that. Like, I'm very gullible when it comes to people's hair, I guess.
I think I kind of knew that, so I was like looking for it. But it's very clear, whoa, that's not his hair from before. Like it looks completely different. But yeah, like of course Ducky saves the day, and he gives her his blessing though. Like this is all happening. Blaine tells Andy that he loves her. Like this is all happening right in front of Ducky, and I'm like, rude.
Yes, I thought that too. But I know guys can be like that though.
It's no, like for her.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
Saying,
yeah.
I think Andy was being rude. I don't know. I felt like
yeah.
That whole circumstance, like she could have said, oh, it's just, excuse me, let me go talk to him. But of course, Ducky, who's been in love with her his whole life, recognizes that this is what she wants.
That's like true love, that he really wants what's best for her, even if it comes at his own expense. Like he falls on his sword.
Exactly.
And then he gets the consolation hot chick though. Like this hot chick is like this chick who's like way out of his league, just comes on to him immediately. Like there's like just out of nowhere. She doesn't have a date, I guess, which seems like not believable. And she's just like, oh, hey, I don't know you, but I'm into you, and now I'm your girlfriend. So it's like, okay, we're telling the audience now, Ducky's the Jesus of this moment. And although he's kind of crucified, he comes back to life and everything's all good. And this is like the way of doing it is he gets some pussy at the end, basically.
Exactly. Because that situation, they had to do that, I feel like, because otherwise it would be like that actually happening to Ducky would be so hurtful.
Yeah, he's just at prom alone.
And uncomfortable. So then, yeah, you're right, the consolation. Now, did you recognize who that actress was?
Yes and no. So when I saw her, and I'm like, damn, like she looks familiar, but I had to look her up to see what she was on. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't actually watch any. Like she was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and
the movie, not the TV show.
The movie, not the TV show.
I loved that movie.
And then what other show was she in? I can't.
She was also in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, and then similar, I guess, he looks at the camera. Ducky looks at the camera before he goes to her, like a la Ferris Bueller. Did you notice that? Like,
yeah. That whole ending scene is very disappointing.
So Molly Ringwald kind of wanted the ending that we got, and as did audiences apparently, but John Hughes really, really hated that. He didn't want that to be the case, and so therefore he made Some Kind of Wonderful, where, guess what? The best friends get together in that.
Yeah, which it's interesting. I wonder if John Hughes himself has been in the friend zone before. You know what I mean? Like, what if Molly Ringwald's never been in the friend zone? because as soon as I saw Ducky, the interactions, I'm like, oh, this dude is deep. He's deep in that friend zone, and that's not a fun place to be. And I was thinking, I don't know if I think I've been kind of friend zoned before. I have friend zoned people, but it's just, it sucks when you like someone and they don't like you. You know?
This is so 80s now so a lot of 80s movies, John Hughes included, are this way. It's like their neighbors and they grew up playing together as children, like they've known each other their whole lives. So this, Some Kind of Wonderful. Also in Teen Wolf, this happens.
Yeah.
So it's very, very 80s.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like they see you as a brother or something like that, and not a love interest, and you have to somehow like escape. Like, so something has to happen to shake things up to change the perspective, or else you're never getting out of that friend zone.
Agreed. In case people haven't seen this, I feel like I saw it, but then I was like, have I seen this movie? Pretty in Pink follows Andy, who's played by Molly Ringwald, a creative working class high schooler navigating love, class divide, which is huge in Hughes movies.
Huge.
Yeah, and social pressure when she starts dating rich, awkward Blaine. As prom approaches, Andy is forced to choose between fitting in, following her heart, and staying true to herself, while her best friend Ducky lurks loudly on the sidelines.
Yeah. Oh, I found a lot of dynamics of this movie really strange. Like, I found Andy's situation weird. Like, it was like single dad. You don't see single dad a lot. Like, single mom is kind of the thing, right? Because I think in real life, there's way more single moms out there than there are single dads. Like, it's usually dad that splits, if we're going to be honest. And I found the dad character really odd.
Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, I feel like he was weird. Like, he's way too nice to be in the situation he's in. Like, you think the unemployed, alcoholic, heartbroken dad would not be so kind and emotionally supportive. Like, you think he'd be, like, angry all the time and, like, disillusioned. But he seems like this bleeding heart, nice dude. And I didn't really buy that.
Interesting. I think it happened quick. I think when we first meet him, he's more what you described.
That's what as soon as I saw him, and he's like, she has to wake her hungover dad up. Mm-hmm. And, like, she's kind of in this pseudo caregiver role. Very much so.
And very clearly, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah. And I thought maybe your mom died or something.
That's what you assume. Whenever there's a single dad, it's usually that the mom died.
Yeah, because I don't know. There are moms who split, but I feel like that's not... I feel like a lot of moms would never do that. Like, they feel a greater sense of responsibility. And it's usually the dad, like the man who splits.
Yes. But I think it helped... It helped give his character the right perspective to kind of give advice and be helpful, because his heart was broken. So he kind of understands. So I think we're meant to see him kind of grow as a character, like kind of rise to the occasion to be there for Andy. But yeah, it was kind of quick.
Yeah, you don't see that huge arc though. He seems like he's pretty chill from the beginning.
Yeah. Now, are you familiar with him, with Harry Dean Stanton?
I've seen him around. I don't know, as a person or as like his characters he's playing?
As an actor.
No, I don't know anything about him. I looked him up on Wikipedia real quick.
Well, the reason I ask is because he's been in other movies. He played the dad in Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Jed and Matt's dad, Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen. He has over 200 acting credits. So he's one of those guys. He's in a ton of stuff.
I feel like he's played a homeless guy or like a drug. Yeah. Like, he has that look to him where I'm like, I've seen him as like a bum like a bunch of times or something like that in a bunch of films where I'm like, I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Didn't you think he looked kind of old to be playing her dad in this?
Yes, I looked his age up because you know, like this thing where it's like people looked older back then. So I'm like, is this guy my age and just looks way older? But he's not.
I had the exact same thing, Kyle.
He's 60 years old in that movie.
He is.
Like, he's the same age, or he's roughly the he's like a year different between my grandma and I. Right? Like
wow.
Yeah, my grandma's 98 now. Like, but she would have been 60, or she would have been 60 in 1988. So it's like her and him would be very similar. And I'm like, yeah, he's like this 60-year-old guy. And Molly Ringwald's like 17 or 18 in this
18,
film.
I think they say.
Like, just barely... Sorry, I was going to say barely legal, but that doesn't sound right. Barely an adult.
I mean, she's still in high school, so yeah.
Like, that would be like if I had a kid now, which I could. Like, it's not like it's totally unreasonable, but it's like, it's weird she's an only child to, you think would be an only child at least, to a 40-year-old dad. There's no reference to any siblings, so I can't.
Right.
If it's not in the film, I'm assuming it doesn't exist.
Right.
So it's like, that's odd. You would think someone of that age growing up at that time would have more kids.
And have kids younger. I thought the same thing. I was like, is this a case where he's actually 40? He just looks like...
Yeah, does she have a bunch of older siblings who have moved out and are long gone?
So he's not actually... So the actor, Harry Dean Stanton, was 60 playing this role. But the clues they give us in the movie make him 54. So he's playing a 54-year-old.
What clues said that he's 54?
She talks about when she was 14, he was 50. And then 4 years later. I think there was a scene at which they say that. But that would still make him in his like early to mid 40s when he had her, which is totally normal now. But
now, not back then.
Back
then, like 14,
yeah.
So that'd be like 1972. If you were, if you're 18 in 1986, so that'd be 68.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in the 60s, having kids at 40 would be like pretty weird.
Exactly. I just noted that. I was like, God, he just seemed...
Unless the mom was way younger.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because guys, even now, I think as a woman having a kid at 40 is a little risky, I think.
Well, they say geriatric after 35, which is super fun.
Yeah.
But especially in more like, if you live in a city, you're more likely to wait longer. That seems like demographically.
Yeah.
So I do see that way more normally now where women are having kids in their 40s now. But
yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it's like even people getting married, it's like people aren't getting married till their 30s now. Mm-hmm. And it used to be like early to mid 20s you got married.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had kids, that year, a couple of years later. Basically what I did, actually. I'm kind of old school, I guess.
You are. Yes, you are. But that makes you a young, cool dad.
So I roll.
Yeah. What did you think about... So John Cryer plays Ducky, the best friend in this.
Yeah.
He's obviously... We probably know him from 2.5 Men is probably where we most know him from. I don't really know him from anything else aside from this and that.
Yeah, he's a very odd character. Very bizarre. My wife is like, he for sure has ADHD. There's no question. Because my wife has really bad ADHD, right? And so does my daughter, actually.
Mm.
My daughter was convinced he was actually gay the whole time.
That's interesting that you say that. Molly Ringwald, that's what she felt like also.
Is that right?
Yeah, like she felt like there's no way that Andy would go with Ducky because she feels like Ducky was a closeted gay person.
Well, then that's maybe why she preferred the ending the way it was.
Yep,
maybe it wasn't
that is why.
The best friend. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense than I don't like that best friend dynamic of turning into a boyfriend or whatever. Yeah, she like my daughter. She won't mind me saying this. She's like my daughter's like pansexual, so I think she has some gaydar type of.
That would make sense, yeah.
And so she's this guy. I don't buy it. Yeah.
So Anthony Michael Hall turned this down. It's so funny that John Hughes he wanted Molly Ringwald to also be in Some Kind of Wonderful. It's literally the same movie. And then he also wanted Anthony Michael Hall to be in this, and he already did. That was 16 Candles. It's like, why do you keep making the same movie? Yeah.
I find some directors just like having the same actors over and over again. Like Martin Scorsese's like that. Like
but it's like the same movie.
I know. Yeah, I wonder if it's like he just wants to like kind of perfect it, or you're just comfortable in a certain groove, or like
John Hughes was really close with Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall for a few years. And then they both had kind of famous like breaking up, so to speak, with John Hughes. So I think he holds a grudge. But I did also read that Robert Downey Jr. was almost cast as Ducky. And so
I can see that.
Molly said that if that had been the case, it would make sense. She would have liked the original ending that she ended up with her friend had it been Robert Downey Jr. Because he didn't give her the brother vibe.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing, though, is he kind of has to have the brother vibe, at least at the beginning, to be that friend-zoned kid you grew up with, right? My wife and I this morning, we have what we call coffee talk. On Sunday, we sit down, we have coffee, we just chat about whatever, and we were talking about this movie. It's a podcast prep, and we were both kind of fascinated by Ducky and how you don't learn much about him, like his background. You just get this one snippet of where he lives, and it's kind of disturbing. Like, he has this mattress on the floor, and it doesn't look like a bedroom. It looks like it's like, you see the window to the side, it looks like a living room window. You see a chair that looks like a living room chair. And then you see like graffiti or something on the wall. There's like spray paint. Do you live in a crack house? Like, where do you live? Like, you're obviously like in the same neighborhood as her, right? Like, you're in this rougher neighborhood. But it's like, what is Ducky's story? I want to know that so bad. And that's what I kind of like too. Like, I like a movie with a bit of mystery where you can kind of make your own story about Ducky or whatever. But
that's a really great point. I kind of noticed that too. And I was like, is this just supposed to show us that they live in like the bad part of town?
Yeah, like I actually, when I first saw the movie, I wasn't aware that it was like about class dynamics as much, right? Because I didn't know anything about it. And we've talked about this before. It seems like in a lot of these movies, it shows like what is supposed to be like the average American family, way more affluent than what the average American family really is. And so when I saw like this street cleaner going through this neighborhood and like the street was all fucked up and it's like her house was like noticeably kind of old and a little bit dingy, I was just like, what's happening here?
They're like, introducing you to where she lives and who they are.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah, exactly. It just was not my, like, usually it's like you see these are way more idyllic scenes.
Oh, because you didn't know, like you were hit with it as a surprise, sort of.
I was just like, what's happening here? This is so bizarre. Like, it's not, in this movie, it shows like you either are in like this scene or an ultra mansion.
There's no in between.
There's no, like just typical, like her house wasn't even that bad. It was just really old. Like it wasn't kept up. Like that actually could be a really cool house if it was like maintained better. But yeah, it was like obviously in a neighborhood that probably was once fairly nice. And it's supposed to be in Chicago, but it's in LA. And this is a weird thing, but like you could tell it's in LA because of the street light. They must film in like the same neighborhood in LA. But there's like all these movies where the streetlights are exactly the same. Like like Wayne's World, for example, is supposed to be in Chicago, but it's also filmed in LA, and it's the same fucking streetlights.
In Andy's neighborhood or in the well-to-do neighborhood?
Andy's neighborhood.
Okay.
I think maybe also the well-to-do. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just remember seeing this streetlight. I'm like, I recognize that style of streetlight. This is an LA thing because I've never seen it anywhere else.
You're right. With most John Hughes movies, it's set in Chicago. And I noticed that it said Elgin on the street sweeper, which it must be like either a suburb or a small town near Chicago. And the only reason I knew it was in Chicago because I was a big fan of the show Roseanne growing up. And they live in Lanford, which is supposed to be like, I don't know.
A suburb.
Within an hour or two of Chicago. And they talk about Elgin because Lanford is a fictitious place, but like they talk about going to Elgin a lot in that show.
Yeah, Wayne's World's supposed to be in Aurora, which is an actual Chicago suburb, but it's like kind of at the periphery of like Greater Chicago. But yeah, I don't know. Is John Hughes from there? Or was like, why does he like Chicago so much? No one has like Chicago accents, but
no,
which is fine because I think with a lot of movies you don't want people to have like really regional accents unless it's like. There's exceptions like Good Will Hunting or something like, or Fargo, where it's like very much regional. But I think like the LA accent, other than like the Valley Girl accent, is fairly generic sounding.
What did you think of Iona, the character Iona, played by Annie Potts?
This was the friend that worked at the record store.
Yep.
Well, okay, so she's like, is she a professional Cyndi Lauper impersonator? Like she looks like Cyndi Lauper.
It was of that time. I don't know. I kind of got a kick out of it.
She really just this whole movie is quintessentially 80s, and how could it not be? Because it's in the middle of the 80s. But she was like such a I loved that character, actually.
Me too.
Like, I loved her. She was changing her look all the time. And she was just kind of this like person who was just kind of floating around through life. You know, like she has a record store job. She lives in this weird apartment in Chinatown. She'd have these like bizarre phone conversations, like yelling stuff out. Like she's like that quintessentially quirky friend who's just a little bit odd. And I loved her. I thought she was such a great character.
She was the highlight of the movie for me. I loved this character. I think I like related to her. I don't know why, because I don't like spike my hair, and I never did. But based on what they talk about, she must have been like in her early or mid 30s.
Yeah, because she went to prom in the 60s. Because she mentions the 60s, and also like when she wore her prom dress and then she had her like wig or hairdo
Beehive.
Or whatever. It was like, yeah, this obvious beehive. So, you know, I would say 1967-ish, she would have been in like their last year of high school. So that would put her born around 1950, which would make her like 36. So she's probably like mid 30s, early to mid 30s, single, kind of just doing her thing.
Goes after different, like she.
I guess she's not really single. But sorry, go ahead.
No, she is single, but we see her kind of swap men. Like she throws one to the curb, and she's got this new guy, and I really like him. But she was kind of like the older sister, sort of, to Andy.
Yeah. Well, it's like Andy. She works at this record store. She has a car. And now it's not the nicest car. Like it has some dents in it and stuff like that. But it's
really
not
old.
It's not a total piece of shit either, though. I thought it
was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like exactly. So it's all over the place. But in my mind, I'm always thinking about like how real is something, like the logistics. And I'm like, how do they live? Like her dad doesn't have a job. Like they must be on like food stamps or like welfare or something, because he hasn't had a job in a long time.
I think he must work part-time. She mentioned something about, do you want to just work part-time forever?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because he was like, oh, I got a job. And she's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And yeah, so maybe he works part-time, and maybe she helps out with a bit of a record store money. But yeah, like I don't know. I find, it's like a weird tangent, but I kept thinking that when she's working at the record store, and I'm like, maybe it's just easier to live in the 80s. You can live off working.
I think that's partially true. Yeah, probably partially true. But we see that she's very frugal. She has this like very unique sense of style, like eclectic, but she makes it. She gets things secondhand, and then she kind of makes things her own, which she freaking did in 16 Candles too. It's like, again, John Hughes with like just grabbing ingredients from movies and putting it together. But
I wonder if he was poor growing up.
Well, I don't think so. I feel like I read that he did live in maybe like a similar suburb of Chicago or something. And I don't think he was well off, but I don't know. He seems really, really focused on the class divide a lot.
I think that's also maybe an 80s thing, because like the materialism of the 80s was a huge theme in this movie. And I feel like, from my own personal memory, in the 90s, there was somewhat of a carryover in the 90s still.
Yeah.
Like where I'm not saying people aren't materialistic now, but I feel like it's not as bad or not as prevalent.
The like average person isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like those bully high school girls, I'm like, I know you. Like I know versions of you from like my real life. Because I grew up in a suburb that was like generally fairly well off, but I wasn't. Like I feel like I related to Molly Ringwald's character a bit, or she reminded me of my sister a little bit.
Okay.
And I remember my sister talking about, my sister's your age, so we're pretty close in age, but talking about, you know, you could really get made fun of if you had secondhand clothes, or, you know, if you had a unique style, right? It was really about like how expensive your clothes could be, and like that really cemented your status. I remember, for example, in junior high, everyone wore Nike shoes. Everyone like wore Nike everything. There was this phase. Remember the tracksuit phase? Did you have that in Denver? Like in like the
I grew up in
mid to late
Nebraska,
90s?
but
Oh yeah.
yeah. But and similar, I went to a Catholic school, so there were, and it was a small town, but for a small town in Nebraska, like some well-off people in Catholic school, so we wore uniforms. But
okay.
But like your shoes, it's like the popular kids, like everybody had the same shoes, just in different colors, or everybody wore the same outfit, just in different versions of it. And so if you grow up in a place like that and you have any actual sense of style and are unique in any way, that is punished.
It is punished. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Because I remember like the shoes kids wore that were popular when I was in junior high in like the mid 90s were like $150 shoes, which like my family would never buy. Like that was not in the budget. And yeah, I totally agree. If you had your own sense of style and you were unique, you were a target. Like you were the, the Japanese, they were saying like the nail that sticks out gets hammered. Yeah. And I feel like that part of that's human nature. Like you're still finding yourself in junior high and high school, and you have an urge to fit in, and like that, I think that remains with you throughout your life, but it diminishes. Like I think with the older you get, like old people especially, just do not give a shit.
I definitely don't now, but I think that's why in a lot of these movies or TV shows, it's like you show an adolescent or teenager that isn't one of those, in the clique people. And there's always someone like the Iona character here trying to lift up that person and be like, just wait, because this will be rewarded when you're grown up. Those people will be has-beens. They peaked in high school, but you know what I mean? So that seems to be the case. Yeah,
because she's like that. Those people are cool once they're in their 20s and in their 30s. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there is kind of something. There's nothing more pathetic than someone who, say, is like my age and doesn't stop talking about what they did in high school.
Do you find that?
Not a ton, really. No, like I see it more in media, but yeah, occasionally those people, you could tell, like, those people have peaked in high school or peaked in college, and they're always talking about, oh, I was like this and I was like that and I could have done this, and I'm like, okay, that's the past. Where are you now, right?
Well, speaking of the class divide and the Richies, as she says, James Spader plays Steph, who is Blaine's best friend, and he's that typical dick guy that like
I had a real hard time.
Prototype.
Yeah, this is from the perspective of someone who didn't see this movie coming out. I had a hard time with James Spader being this character because it's James Spader. I think if I saw this, from other stuff, what's that show he's on? I've been binge watching this on. Blacklist.
I never saw that, but he's
I binge watched that show for a while. Yeah, Robert California. So him from Blacklist. Blacklist, he's kind of like, he's this badass, but he's also kind of nerdy. I see him as this bald, nerdy type of guy. When I see him, his voice doesn't match the character, because he sounds exactly the same back then as he does now, more or less. And he was quite good looking in this film. I was like,
back in the day, James Spader was like, he played this character. That's who he was.
And I was like, but I just, because I've seen James Spader as like an older adult, it was really hard to like accept him, even as a douchebag. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
do you think he did a good job though? Or you really
did? He did. Yeah, I feel like his character. That's a character I also want to know more about, because he's just like over the top prick, right? There's not a lot of depth to him though, but you kind of get a little hint at his house party that he's not happy. And also you get a few hints there, but he's kind of in his bed, and I know that, what's her name? That the mean girl that he did. Benny. He's with her, so he's probably trying to get laid up there or whatever. But he's just watching. He doesn't seem happy around her, even at prom. He doesn't seem happy. Like he seems like a deeply sad person, which is interesting because like from the outside, he seems to have it all. Molly Ringwald drives by his house early in the film, or Andy, and she's like, I wonder what that's like inside. But they probably don't even like this house as much as me, and I don't think he does, because his house is empty. Like his parents are nowhere to be seen. I always find it funny. These teenagers have these rager parties, and it's like, I could maybe see that your parents are away on a ski trip or something. So it's like, let's do this. But it seems like he's just bored of this. Like, drinking is not a novelty to him. Having money and cars is not a novelty to him. Like, he seems like he's an alcoholic at 17. And it's like, mommy and daddy don't pay attention to you. And it shows, right? And he seems like he's a burnout adult before his time. Like, it's really odd. And I'd like to know more about him. I want to know more about him. I want to know more about Ducky. And I realize you can't do that necessarily in these films because
it needs to be a series to learn.
Yeah, it needs to be like a coherent film, but it is interesting. And that I feel like I could maybe be more interested in that character if I need more about him. But he was just like, yeah, he just seemed like over the top antagonistic.
Good point. I mean, and that sort of was the case in the 80s, but this type of character we see a lot too. Like everybody envies this person because they have it all. But deep down, they are deeply unhappy because they've just been fed money, but he's deeply lacking attention and love.
You got everything money can buy except what it can't.
Blaine says that to her. You can buy everything, but you couldn't buy her.
Yeah, like he gets rejected by this person who's kind of a nobody in the school, right? And he's bitter about that. And he's trying to sabotage his friend's relationship with her. And he couches it as, you can't, it's bad for you socially if you're with this person, or just fuck her and get it over with. But in actuality, you want to be with her. You're not going to be with her. So if I can't have her, no one can have her. Right. And it's weird that I would have liked to see maybe him make further attempts to try and get Andy.
We just see the beginning.
He's like, you're a fucking bitch or whatever. And that's it. Like he gives up. But it would have been interesting if he was trying to like scheme around and get her a little bit. But that also might have been weird in the sense that she was an unpopular girl, but she gets male attention the entire film.
Well, that is really, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I felt like the true high school experience wouldn't allow for the dynamic that is at play here, where both of the rich guys, Blaine, who is Andrew McCarthy, St. Elmo's Fire, Weekend at Bernie's, Joylet Club, Mannequin, he was kind of a thing, and he was like a brat packer for a while, which I don't get. I don't think he's attractive at all. But Blaine, James Spader as Steph, and the best friend, all three main characters, men, are after Andy, Molly Ringwald, who is not a popular girl, and she's not conventionally beautiful.
Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, sorry.
She's not conventional. Like, she's usually the, like, really, it's usually some, like, really beautiful, long hair, perfect body.
She doesn't fit in terms of, her look. Like, she does not look that 80s, actually. Like, she does. She's not keeping up with the fads in the 80s. And she has these big glasses. She's the popular girl in the Breakfast Club, but she doesn't look that different in the Breakfast Club than she does here.
I even brought it up in the Breakfast Club. I don't think she looks like the prototype of the high school pretty popular girl.
Yeah, I think she's not bad looking, though.
I agree. I think she's very pretty. It's just she's not like, and that's maybe more interesting. But I just thought in high school that wouldn't happen. The two popular guys are not going to both be after like some not popular girl when they have the other pretty popular girls.
I will say this, guys, though, the social status of your partner is not as important as it is to women.
High school, I feel like, at least in this, that we were shown that
I'm going to say not as important. I'm not saying it's not important, but I feel like women value social status and prestige in their partner more than men do. And I think women, they want to punch up. They want to be with someone who has more than them. And guys typically is the opposite. Like they don't, maybe it's intimidating or whatever. They want someone maybe a little less. And now I do think it's a stretch that maybe they all like Andy so much. But I feel like also you kind of want what you can't have at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, you bring up a good point. I think the men like that, though, these men that already have status want like a trophy on their arm. And I don't think she's like a trophy.
I don't think that Steph would have wanted to be in a relationship, like what I'll call an open, not being like polyamorous, but like open being like socially known. I think he wanted to sleep with Andy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think he wanted Andy to be his girlfriend.
Yes.
And I think that's another difference too, right? Like where it's, guys like that, they're fine to hit it, quit it, and move on, right? But they're a little more stingy with commitment. And I think the status and prestige, he wants people to know that he has the hot girlfriend. So he'll want like, I forgot her name already. Benny. He wants Benny for show.
Yes.
I don't think he actually likes Benny as a person that much. I think she irritates him.
Yeah.
But she's hot. And she probably... Okay, so my daughter did something that really disturbed me. She's getting older. She's only 12, but like she's getting at that age. And she's like, Dad, do you know why those girls are so popular? I'm like, because they're good looking? She's like, no. And then she was like this. And I'm like,
daughter?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. But that's probably some truth to that. Those like Benny probably puts out, right? Well, she definitely puts out.
She says as much. Yeah.
Yeah, she puts out. She's hot. She's you submit your status by her being your girlfriend. And I presume when he was going after Andy, Benny was still his girlfriend. I don't think he was going to break up with Benny to be with Andy.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Yeah, good point.
But he wants to see if the carpet matches the drapes or something like that.
And in the 80s, there was more to see.
Yes, yeah, no, you would have known back in the 80s.
More carpet.
Yeah.
Now, I did find really interesting though about people who were potentially going to play Blaine. Do you know who Jerry Levine is?
No, I'm bad with names.
Yeah, no, it's a little obscure. He played Styles in Teen Wolf.
Oh, I also didn't see that.
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun movie. Well, at any rate, he was considered to play Blaine, which would have been a very different. He's really loud and confident in Teen Wolf, and Blaine with Andrew McCarthy is very understated and quiet.
I found Blaine to be a very unsatisfying character.
Same.
I did not like him
give a shit
at all.
Blaine.
I don't mind him being the quiet one because that kind of does make him like he's in the popular rich kid crowd, but he's lower tier. Right?
Well, she says he's not like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like more down to earth or whatever. But I think he's really lower tier because he's not as confident. Mm-hmm. Like he's soft spoken. He's kind of more of a pussy or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But he does have this quiet confidence. Like he pursues Andy quite confidently, like with this weird computer thing, which I thought was odd. But I'm like, by the way, you're not doing that. You're not chatting with each other on those and sending images on those computers from the 80s.
What kind of chat primitive system, but also super high tech for the time was that?
That was
in the library.
Yeah, it was non-existent. Like even the 90s computers I was on in school couldn't do that shit.
No, we were playing Oregon Trail with a disc.
Yeah, exactly. Your 1986 computer isn't doing that. Like maybe you could send some text through the network, maybe, but you're not like showing someone their picture and then your picture and then doing some visual effect with the picture. Like,
it was as though there was internet, and there was no internet.
You could have had a local area network, but I don't think that school would have. And if you did, it'd be a real pain to send a message to someone there was no interface. Like it was just this blank screen that was odd. But yeah, he has this weird quiet confidence. And then like he takes her to this party where of course it's the house that she was sitting outside. It's douchebag's house. And these rich kids are all like degenerates doing weird stuff. And
typical party stuff, though. Yeah. I gotta say that seemed pretty relatable. I mean, I that was a very 80s version of it, but that didn't seem atypical of like late 90s parties.
I think Benny or whatever dancing around in her underwear in front of people and stuff. I don't think that would be that. But yeah, people making out. I remember making out in front of my friends, and I cringe at that now. But it's like kids. Teenage bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's like. People just say weird stuff to him and he just takes it. Or he goes up to the bedroom and Steph's in there just watching some tunes, like cartoons. I don't know. And then he's in bed with Benny and they decide to take a seat. Like
They're
Steph's
just
like,
sitting
no,
here watching this.
yeah, he's like, no, come in, and yeah, Blaine isn't like, no, I'm good, see ya. He's like, okay, I'll come in. Like he kind of gave him an order to do that, and he had to comply, and he's like put in this awkward situation. You know what that reminds me of? Former President Lyndon Johnson used to.
I don't remember former President Lyndon Johnson.
He used to apparently do stuff to like make people uncomfortable to intimidate them.
Oh, really?
Like he used to show his dick to people. Apparently, he had a huge dick. And
Lyndon Johnson?
Yeah. Look it up. And he used to like his aides. He would like make them give him briefings and stuff while he was taking a shit, like with the door open type of stuff. Like he just put people in these like really awkward positions just to fuck with them. And this is what that reminded me of. He's like, oh, no, come in. And then what's-her-face comes out and they're in bed and he's just weird. And he has this drink that looks like 3 shots in his glass. And I'm like, what kind of 17-year-old drinks straight liquor? Like not mixed with anything.
Well, these rich guys probably are drinking fancy like scotch and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Like what 17-year-old drinks neat scotch?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Rich guys in the 80s do. It was in Weird Science too. But speaking of like their date and weird, awkward, I didn't buy it at all. Like first of all, I don't know why everybody's after her because she seems like a wet blanket.
Yes, she does. She's studious. She has her own weird style. She was like, hey, I'm not here to get you off, which I respect that.
Yeah.
But then it's like when he takes her to these hay bales, which you may want to edit this out. I was like, I swear to God, I saw like a porn in the 90s on hay bale. This is a very similar hay bale setup.
You're like, I recognize this set.
I recognize these hay bales. She's like starts making out with him and shit. Like, I feel like they didn't have that much of a... You never see them have a spark or a real connection.
No, not at all. I mean, like even at the party, she's being super uptight. She's not... If I'm being honest, I wouldn't want to hang out with her. Like at the party, like lighten up. You're finally on a date with this guy. He's actually showing you off to his friends and you're being really... I don't know.
These are all her bullies are in that house. Like,
I know.
These are all the people that look down on her. She also has a massive inferiority complex. Because, like, she lives in a shitty house. This is, like, this mansion she's been fantasizing about. Like, she does not feel... Like, she doesn't feel safe there, essentially. Like, people keep picking on her. Like, she feels like, oh, I'm white trash. If I were her, I'd want to get the hell out of there.
I would, too. I guess where I was going with this is, like, we aren't shown really any indication as to why anyone likes her. Aside from Ducky. Because he grew up with, she's not fun.
She's not fun. She's like attractive-ish, but not like incredibly attractive. And yeah, she doesn't really have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Or like to go out and do fun stuff. Oh, I found one thing I found weird is they seem to go to a bar all the time. Like these 17-year-olds and like they don't card there, I guess, because they're getting drinks.
I know. I'm like, what is happening? Ducky doesn't get in because, I don't know, because he's Ducky, but these teenagers are going to a punk rock like club where there are also adults. And I mean, did you recognize the bouncer though at the club?
No, who is he?
It was Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And Dweezil Zappa was one of the kids they show like hanging out with Molly and Iona with the spiky hair named Simon. I guess was Molly Ringwald's boyfriend at the time.
Oh, okay.
And he's Frank Zappa's son.
It is odd because I found it kind of cool that at least the main character was pretty much age appropriate, right? She was around a senior high school age, like Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
And often you see like high schoolers in movies are like 26-year-olds. So it's like, in that sense, I found Spader looked out of place because of course he wears suits to school.
Well, all the rich guys are wearing like straight up like blazers and stuff. Yeah.
I couldn't stop talking about that the whole movie. Like, oh, another blazer. This is like the rich person uniform.
It is.
This morning I Googled, I'm like, was that a thing in the 80s? Did people wear blazers? And I got mixed results. Results. But I think normal high schoolers did not wear blazers. I know.
It's hard for me to tell in the 80s because the term yuppie, like they were quote unquote yuppies, but they were teenagers. So was that actually a thing for teenagers to wear? And then it was cool with like Don Johnson and like in the late 80s with the Miami Vice, like sleeves rolled up.
Yes. Brittany was talking about that, the sleeves rolled up thing. But it seems like in this film, they're like, let's give the rich people a uniform so they can be identified.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have a blazer? You're a rich kid.
Yes.
Which in actuality, though, like Spader's, or Steph in the movie, would not be going to that school. He would be in private school. Same with Blaine.
Absolutely.
Like, you would not be going to this bullshit public school. Although I'm going to say Molly Ringwald, or Andy, she's in the office with, I don't know if that's a guidance counselor or a principal. I think it's more of a counselor. He seemed to make it like she's being sent to this school, like she doesn't belong to the school. And I know there was programs like that in the U.S. Often with African American kids, they would be bused to like better schools. Like I know that at the beginning of the movie The Departed, they showed that, where it's like they show these kids being bused to these nice schools in Boston, and then the locals are like protesting it, right? Like we don't want that in our neighborhood. And I think like I'm like, Did Andy get sent to the school because she's good at school and like, you know, like let's take a kid from like the ghetto and then let's give her a chance by having her in this nicer school. But then
sort of did seem like we got clues of that. And again, I think a lot of that, I feel like I see that a lot in like 80s and 90s where a smart but poorer kid would fake where they live to get like their zip code.
Yeah.
To get into a nicer school district or something.
Yeah, and the only thing is, it doesn't make sense because Ducky doesn't appear to be. There's no evidence that he's a good student. There's no evidence he's a bad student either. So I guess you could assume he's a good student, but he lives obviously in a bad area, and he's at the
Actually,
school
there
too.
is evidence that he's a bad student because she's like trying to help him with his paper, and she's like, "Take this seriously. Are you purposely trying to fail to stay in high school because you don't know what you're gonna do?" Yeah,
so it's like he. It is interesting, like when she didn't want Blaine to take her home, and she's like, I related to that a bit because I was kind of embarrassed to bring friends to my house growing up. Because it's not like I lived in a super bad house, but it was not nearly as nice as any of my friends' houses. And so it's that's a thing, like that.
Okay.
That I related that one. That one hurt a little bit to watch. But I did find like that an odd confrontation where he was like, "Why would you let me take you home?"
Yeah, I could buy it at first. I thought they went a little too hard on it because he wasn't going to come into the house. He was just going to drop.
But
her
it's
off.
like he knows it's a shit neighborhood, though, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah, for sure.
Because and that kind of goes along with the idea that she's not in that school district or whatever. Because I think that's one difference in the United States, like to a lot of places, is like. Schools seem to be funded more on the local level. Like
they definitely
if your neighborhood's poor, your school's poor.
It goes according to your property taxes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what funds public schools here. I mean, that's a part of what funds it. So a neighborhood that the houses cost a lot, the taxes are higher. So the school gets more. Yeah.
Yeah. Like where I'm at, it's on the provincial or like what you would be the state level. Like education's funded on a little bit of a higher level. So it's like,
that makes more sense.
It does. And now, granted, I think some school districts are better off than others because, you know, like parents can fund stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit more like,
fair.
You know, yeah, like you wouldn't go to a school where there's no textbooks. You know what I mean? Where it seems like that if you're on like the south side of Chicago, you're kind of fucked, right?
Yeah. Like I've been watching Abbott Elementary, which is in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
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 So it's very much, they're like, can we get like a special desk for our like wheelchair bound student? And they like can't get funding for shit like that.
Yeah, that is messed up. Because even if you think it's like, oh, no handouts to people, it's like, well, kids aren't responsible for like their financial situation because they're kids.
Yeah, like school, like a lunch. It's a kind of a big political thing here. Maybe we should provide children with breakfast and lunch because then that would make them better students. If they're hungry, they can't think. But
yeah,
you know, of course, that's apparently like a woke ideology to give people.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always money for like bailouts or guns or whatever. Yeah.
Send war. There's always money for other things for sure.
Yeah. Brittany pointed out, you never see Andy eat lunch at school. Everyone else eats lunch.
Do we see them eat lunch?
I guess they're in. I thought so. I thought there was like a lunchroom scene. Maybe not. But
there's kind of like an outdoor scene. But we allude to it because Ducky kind of jokes Like, oh, I'll go make a reservation by the window at the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Now, was prom a big deal for when you were going to school?
We don't have prom. I feel like high school in America is more showy. There's more stuff like that, like pep rallies and prom and things like that. I feel like we don't have as much of that, which is kind of a shame. It seems like funner for you guys. Like you have like your big, we call grad, like your big dance at the end, like when you graduate high school.
Okay.
That's the big thing.
That's essentially prom.
Right. Okay. So
I mean, like an equivalent.
Sure.
Prom.
Yeah, I didn't really know what prom was, but you guys have a homecoming dance or so. I don't know what that even is.
Yeah,
but
we do have. There's usually homecoming is pretty universal, and that's in the fall, and then usually there's some sort of like winter.
Yeah.
Snowball, some sort of a wintry thing, and then at the end of the year is prom.
I wish we had more of that, to be honest.
It showcases in these movies, especially in the 80s, like prom was such a big deal. And like we see her shopping for a dress and it's $650.
Oh, okay. We did look that up. That's about $2,000 today.
Yeah. Nobody's buying, no regular person is spending $2,000 on a prom dress.
Right. Right. That's, yeah, I remember that. Like, I find like girls would, I don't know how much grad dresses, we call grad dress, but like how much that would cost, I have no idea. But it is like, yeah, it's very similar to prom, I think, where it's like
it's significant.
You do put some money out.
Cost.
You do put some money out there. I have no idea what it is, but yeah, I know. I like guys. We'd rent a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Which I think is like a couple $100 now. It's not.
Yeah, I have no idea how much a tuxedo costs.
Because like by the gym I go to, there's like a clothing store that sells suits and stuff, but they also do rentals for tuxedos. And I think it was like 200 and something Canadian, so about 200 American, or maybe a little. Not
that's
cheap.
a lot. That's a lot.
But yeah,
for a kid.
For one day, like your prom dress, you could get to keep it. Now, are you going to wear it again? Probably not. But
no, but to your point about we have a lot of those. So essentially, I got rid of them, but most women probably have a closet full of probably, let's see, 3 dances per year, like at least 12 like gown type like dresses like that.
Yeah. You would think there'd be like a big market for used ones that you could buy. Like you could buy someone its prom dress from the year earlier or something like that. Although if I'm guessing if anyone found out that you did that, you could.
No, you got to show up. It's a place to be seen, and
Yeah, but you would think though if you bought a used one, it's basically new. Like someone's worn it maybe once.
But that's last year's fashion, Kyle.
Yes, that's right. Does it change that much though? I don't know.
But again, you're trying to fit in, so what you end up seeing is all the girls have essentially the same dress in a different color. Sort of. It's
big business because like our big thing here is West Edmonton Mall, which used to be the biggest mall in the world up until like
what?
Yeah, it's like it's built by the same like the people who built Mall of America built West Edmonton Mall. Like it's like these Iranian guys that live here in Edmonton.
No idea.
Yeah, it's like and it's still I think it's the biggest mall in North America still. But anyway, it has 600 stores, and there's four of these dress places, I swear, like in a row. There's like a big hallway in this one part of the mall where they just sell ceremonial dresses. And these businesses run like year round.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like they have some of this like Indian stuff too, that style, but still like it's
for quinceañeras, like, those dresses are pretty fancy.
But yeah, it is a big market, and you don't you don't think about it until you have to experience it. But yeah, I can see Andy like her struggle when she goes there. I think she said like early on she got one of her outfits for $15, and then she said for like $650.
She wore, to your point, she kind of created her own dress out of a secondhand dress.
Was it a friend's prom dress from the 60s? Is it that one, like that pink one?
Mm-hmm, it was really hideous, but we see her kind of make, because that's her thing. She sews and she makes it her own. But that was the most hideous dress I've ever seen in my life.
I agreed. When I first saw that, I was just like,
I think Molly hated it too. I feel like I read that.
One thing Brittany said when I was talking to her about this is she liked that Andy never had to change. Like it's not one of those ones where it's like the ugly duckling gets a makeover and is now the hot girl.
Yes.
Like that she basically stayed true to herself the whole time. And yes, that dress is ugly, but it's like the important thing was like she liked it. She felt good at it. It was her style and she was confident to go there in that. And I think it would have been disappointing to a degree if she somehow worked this miracle with that dress and it looked like all the other girls' dresses. And then she's like the hot girl. Like she would have kind of sold out.
Yes. I'm glad she didn't too. That's a really good point. Do you feel like that sort of like class, the really big class divide, do you think that's like a dated thing, or do you think that's still in play in high schools?
I don't know. I felt like
if Lena I wondered if she had thoughts.
Actually, you know what's interesting? So the junior high she's in right now is kind of far from our house because she's currently doing schooling in French. She's going to English next year because it's like it's kind of too much. But she's done school in French from like K to 7, which is not super uncommon here in Canada because it's like supposed to be a bilingual country. But anyways, so the nearest French immersion school is kind of far away, and it's in like a really rich area. And like we're not poor, but it's like we're not wealthy either, right? So she's kind of the poor kid in her school, and I don't feel like she has much of a chip on her shoulder about it. I think she does a little bit. And even me, like I grew up where it was kind of more like that. I don't think it was as bad. I think this movie is kind of more of an exaggerated. Because I didn't grow up around anyone like Steph, like not that rich.
Yeah, it is exaggerated, of course. You know, it's very tropey in that way, but
yeah, I think it's a little. I'd say it's less like that now. I think we're less materialistic now than we were in the 80s.
It's just different. It's in a different way, I feel like. But also there were a few things that I noticed about this that really dates the movie. Did you notice certain insult terms that they use?
Oh yes, my like when they said the F word ending in T,
the R word too.
Yeah. When they said that, my daughter was like shocked. Yeah. Which is funny because when I was in junior high, that word is fair game.
It was, yeah. It's wild looking back. Like over time, we've grown, thankfully. But now what? Like that was totally normal for people.
I said that word all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Or like you would say, like if something's bad, oh, that's gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember my friend giving me a hard time about that.
Really? That you shouldn't say it?
Yeah. And I was like, this guy's so uptight. But he was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right.
I was wrong. He was ahead of his time.
He was?
I wasn't. Yeah. R word. So if someone dropped the R word in the lunchroom the other day at work, and he got jumped on for that. Like people were not having that. I'm in a fairly left-leaning workplace, mind you. I think if I because I'm like the oil industry, it's all right. I live in a fairly blue-collar city, and I think some of those more blue-collar environments, people are dropping the R word and the homophobic slurs still.
Yeah,
But I'd say in schools here, you can't be saying that anymore.
No, absolutely not. Also, can you smoke in your schools? Is this a thing that happens? The smoking?
In not really. Like we had smoking.
Joking.
Oh yeah, we had smoking areas at school.
For the students?
Yeah.
When you were in high school?
Yeah. Like it wasn't inside the building, but it was like a certain area outside the building was the smoking area that students could smoke in.
You're younger than me. That's wild to me.
Oh, we had this thing called. Okay, so my mom went to the same high school, and there was this area called the Pit. And it was literally like kind of like a bit of a pit. Like you walk 2 or 3 steps down and it was just this big circle area. And it was surrounded by just a few steps. Kind of like those sunken living room things back in the day.
Yep.
But it was quite large. It was like maybe half the size of a basketball court. And that used to be the smoking area in the school in the 70s.
That's wild.
Where you smoked.
Well, I can see in the 70s.
In the building. But yeah, in the 90s, they moved that to outside. You had to go outside to smoke. But even in I went to a junior high school, there was a smoking area that was like a designated student smoking area. Because you could buy cigarettes, I think, at 16 here.
You could I don't know, I don't think you can now. I think it's probably 18
I think it's 18.
Now.
I think maybe now it's 18. But I think back then, 16-year-olds could buy smokes, no problem.
Same. So we see smoking inside the school, just indoors, smoking in the school. And they just...
I saw it once in the bathroom, like when Ducky gets thrown into the bathroom by those bullies. like into the women's bathroom, you see a girl smoking by the mirror there, which is like a common idea.
The bathroom.
Where you smoke in the bathroom, and that tells me you're not actually supposed to be smoking in the school, because otherwise, why would you be doing that in the bathroom?
Exactly.
And I feel like Steph smokes in the school because he just doesn't give a fuck.
That's a good point.
But
Andy's friend does it too, though, in gym class. Her friend is smoking.
Yeah, with like the lesbian gym instructor.
Again, so tropey, so tropey. I will say what this movie has in its favor, given all of its datedness, is there are a lot of characters with gender neutral names in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right. Steph, I did find Steph odd. And Andy, Blaine, I also thought was weird. Yeah,
Andy, Blaine, Benny, Steph.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like there's a few.
Yeah. I knew a guy named Lindsay in junior high. He was an asshole. But I feel like there wasn't as much of gender-neutral names growing up.
Yeah, I really noticed it in this movie. I'm like, okay, you're throwing around the F word, but at least there's gender-neutral names.
Do you find now that like our names are considered like older people names? Like, I don't know, maybe not Katie, but no one names their kid Kyle anymore. Or apparently Ashley is like the new Karen type of name.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see
like
that.
Gen Z's call like a millennial Karen and Ashley.
Yep. That totally tracks, to be honest with you. It's funny because now I can see like my niece is 13, like all the kids in her school, like what their names are. And they're going to end up being the Ashley or the Karen or the whatever.
Yeah, but it's like we're like now like the Gertrude and Chester.
It'll come back around. Yeah. It will come back around because they always do. Like Henry has come, like a lot of names like that have come back around. Yeah, I wish you had seen Some Kind of Wonderful because I'm curious what your thoughts are in comparison. I think it's superior. I feel like Pretty in Pink is more culturally famous. Like it's more people have heard of that.
Even I'd heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But Some Kind of Wonderful has like gained reevaluation over time. And I think it probably ages a little bit better. It's more emotionally mature. The version of Blaine in Some Kind of Wonderful is Amanda. And I think she, to your point about you wanted to learn more about some of these characters, I think she's a better written character in Some Kind of Wonderful.
I don't think any of the characters in Pretty in Pink were very well written. There's not a lot of depth to any of them. Like I find them all fairly superficial. And it's a shame. Like, but what are you going to do? It's funny because it's like The Breakfast Club was like the total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
God, was his name Bender? Like
John Bender, yeah.
Yeah. Like you find out there's depth to him. You find out more about him, like why he is the way he is, like his abusive dad. Like you learn about it. Like you have these people who are all these, you throw all the stereotypes into a room and they learn about each other. And there's more to you than just the stereotype. And then this movie isn't that at all.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, that movie, it's known for its writing, and also it's just very dialogue heavy. They're all just in a room the whole movie. Like they don't go anywhere, or just basically. But yeah, and Ducky in this is sort of unfortunate because he's like more loud and performative. And so people, for whatever reason, there's like a division about should Andy have ended up with Ducky versus Blaine. Whereas in Some Kind of Wonderful, Watts is the girl, basically Ducky, the Ducky version. And she's very like reserved and emotionally grounded and very loyal. So I think it's very easy. There's no question that kids should have ended up with Watts.
Ducky's annoying. He annoyed me.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. To me, when I saw the character, it's like he's not a bad person or anything like that. But he's like, this guy would never hang out with him. Like he's just way too much for me. Yeah,
a lot.
And I could see that's why people wouldn't want him to be with her because it's like they didn't feel like endeared to him in the first place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At least I didn't.
What other observations or comments, since you watched it with your wife and daughter, what stuck out to you guys?
Okay, I've said a lot of them. I know for my daughter, she didn't super like the film in general.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like, I don't think she found it very relatable. She didn't like the end. It was funny for her to make fun of people's clothes and hairstyles and stuff like that. I found it a little nostalgic. It reminded me of women I would see in my childhood. Mm-hmm. Like my earlier memories would be probably from 1987 onwards. But so it's like, I remember the late 80s. I remember women looking like this or talking like this. And I found like the people's cadence was different in that movie than it is now. People talk differently. They have a different tone. They say things differently. And I can't really express specifics on that.
I know what you mean, though.
But like when they talk, it's not the same. And same with like, like you have that transatlantic accent when they're talking like this on the films. And it's like, there's just something about it. It's like things change over time. And, I felt like overall, though, I wouldn't say the movie aged poorly. I'd say I didn't find it that cheesy. And I find like a lot of 80s movies are really cheesy. I just found, although it didn't age poorly, I don't think it was that good when it came out.
I concur.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the American cheese of movies. Like you can eat it, but it's like it's nothing special. You know what I mean?
I agree. I totally agree. I don't know why it's so known, like culturally known, but I find very few people love it. It's everyone always points to The Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller, for in terms of John Hughes. So
that is interesting. I don't know, maybe like parts of it, the class divide speaks to people. Or I think also Molly Ringwald is just like kind of, she's likable. People like her. They like the stuff she's in. And I think maybe because it's adjacent to something like The Breakfast Club. And it, like when you said it had suggestions for movies for us to review, I hadn't seen any of them. So I had to pick one I think I would like. And I think the reason I picked Pretty in Pink is because it was a Molly Ringwald film close to in time to The Breakfast Club.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And I think maybe that has something to do with its popularity.
Well said. Yeah, it's her third movie in a row that is very similar with John Hughes. But yeah, she definitely was a part of the culture in the mid 80s for sure. All right, Kyle, thank you so much for joining me on Pretty in Pink. And you did pretty good on the trivia, I got to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
For 1986. Do you have any final thoughts or where can we find more of you? Hint, hint.
Well, you can go to Kyle at Night at OnlyFans. That's where it's only $3.99 a month to subscribe. I think it's pretty reasonable.
It is pretty reasonable.
I'm very interactive. I'm very friendly or not so friendly, depending on what you like. But not really. One more round, the Rocky Series podcast. That's where you can see Katie and I and this guy named Ryan. He's all right.
We keep him around.
That's pretty much my only online presence. Though. I try to keep it low.
Cool.
But my OnlyFans and one more round is really all I do.
That's quite a bit. I mean, I bet your OnlyFans keeps you quite busy. But yes, teasing aside, yeah, Ryan puts up with us every other week. If you like the Rocky movies, you can find it on YouTube.
And if you don't like the Rocky movies, reevaluate.
Yeah, what are you doing with your life?
If you think it's just a dumb boxing movie, look again. Look more carefully. Won Best Picture for a reason, people.
It did. That is our look back at Pretty in Pink, a movie that's equal parts style, angst, and oh so 80s. If you did enjoy this episode, please take a moment to rate and review or reach out with your thoughts on if you think Andy should have ended up with Blaine or Ducky. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be kind. Rewind.